All right, and now we are recording. I think every one of my videos begins with me going, "Are we recording?" So
good to make sure before we start sharing information.
Yeah, no, there's too many times I've recorded this massive 2-hour rant on Doctor Who, only to find out I never pushed the button record. So, so fantasy. We're going over fantasy, the different departments, how we're going to be bringing this together. And I think everyone should have the graphics now. We did get the fantasy graphics in. Let me just take a look here. And those are available on the Facebook group. And I just composed the veterans group. So I'll be moving. I am not moving the graphics from the beginners group over to the advanced group. Because that's just more work for me, and everyone's going to be in the beginners group anyway. So I'm not gonna post them in both places. But they are there in the beginners group. All the posts, all the graphics. We should have everything in place for what we're doing now, or for what we will be doing. We have the blog hop coming, focusing on just fantasy authors and their websites. And we have the genre tour, which is a myriad of fantasy events going through. And one of the things I just spoke to Corinna about today was an event called Busted. I love this event. She was explaining that a lot of people do not understand what exactly her genre is about. And in one of our discussions among the powerhouses, we found out that there was a lot of genres that if you're not in that genre, you don't understand what's it about. And we all started sharing our ideas and opinions and taglines to summarize a genre we know nothing about. It was rather amusing. But based on that, Corinna walked away with it and said, let's go ahead. And she wanted to do something to explain what MC Thriller was and show it for what it really is to people who don't know. Because maybe you like a genre, but because you don't know what it is, or you've assumed that it's something that it's not, you're not into it. So I love the idea, and I wanted to spin it up to all genres. So this concept of Busted, it destroys the stereotype, or it addresses the stereotype that different genres come across as. I'm wanting to pull Angela Dukes in this to discuss romance, because a lot of people think that romance is literally, quote, porn for women. There's a lot more to it than that. And of course, everyone thinks that fantasy is about slashing dragons when it's not. So everyone, horror, I have no idea what horror is. I really don't. I thought horror.
Well, if you want a stereotype for horror, the slasher stereotype.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's part of it, but it's not all of it.
Right, exactly. So this program is going to be, and I'm thinking it's going to be a basic tour, just a regular tour, but it's going to give each genre a chance to explain this is what it really is. This is what it's really about. And I want to pull some of our finest work from our finest authors to sample and showcase the other side of their genre. Yes, there's dragons in fantasies, but honestly, you're seeing less and less dragons in fantasy. It's something I really want to get hands on. So this is something we will be looking at later on for each and every one of our genres. We have the blog hop. We have the...
Well, I mean, science fiction is Star Wars and Star Trek. That's the big... Or Doctor Who.
Oh, come on. We all know Star Wars is fantasy in space. It's not science fiction.
As long as you understand that there's a difference. That's what matters. Right. That's what matters. But yeah, absolutely. The whole concept of this Busted. And I had a name for it. I can't remember what.
I like Busted.
Yeah, no, it's Busted. That's it. Busted, destroying the stereotypes or addressing the stereotypes. That's the subtitle I had given it. But yes, Busted is the name of the tour. So we'll be working on that project. As far as fantasy, if we get enough people in, I am wanting to divide epic fantasy from urban fantasy. I don't think we're going to get enough in to get low fantasy in there as well, but if there is, that'll be there. And then we can do like mini tours, perhaps, if that goes in that direction. We have Blog Hop, of course. We have the Expo and the Cover Wars. And we also have the tournament, the character tournament. And I'm wanting to do something regarding the tournaments where we are where we have our fantasy characters facing off, warriors or battle types. And I know we have that in general happening, but, and maybe this is my own stereotype, I see that mostly targeting fantasy authors. Opinions, thoughts?
In the respect of heroes versus villains kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you get some of that with the thrillers as well. You've got the good guys versus the bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you get with horror too, so you might have some horror authors in the character tournaments.
Right, but you can kind of separate and do themes based on the different genres. So like we did with romance, because romance is so completely divided. But you know, with urban fantasy, you got good guys versus bad guys, or good versus evil.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not so much necessarily warriors. Versus.
And that's what I noticed a lot in last year's. I know Corinna's doing her own with, and I'm not going to get this right, Biker Wars.
Yeah.
I think Biker Run. I can't remember which one. Biker Wars, I think it is. And so she's going to have a contest just among her thriller group. And we have romance having that on group with Matchmaker, which really doesn't really go along the same lines of that character tournaments. I would like to see a tournament per genre, so that fantasy has their own like heroes or conquestors versus other, or your good versus your bad.
And YA, we were talking about doing book boyfriends.
Yeah, see, exactly.
So I didn't participate in character tournaments last year. How is that exactly done for new folks that are part of that, and how do you determine the winner? Is it just votes from?
It is
very from the audiences.
Yep. It is very similar to, and I can pull it up for last year. I can get you the link later and show you that. It's on not Rafflecopter. It's on Brackify. And it's set up a lot like our Cover Wars. So there's voting, and there'll be one person against the other, and then you vote off, and they go up a hierarchy of rank. Every submission requires a small description. It's probably a 200-word selling your character, and then people or readers come in, they read the short description, and then they select which of the two they prefer. Weapon type, there's usually a physical description. There is some discussion on whether or not there should be a photo attached. I recommend a photo, because you're going to have a lot less likely getting your character pushed through if there is no photo attached. It does do a lot to sell the characters. And then the readers just go in and they read which of the two they like. They vote on the one they like, and it moves up through the ranks. It's all done through Brackify, so it's automatic. We just enter the information, and then we sit back and we open the polls on, April 7th, and we tell the bracket to end it on the 9th. So it's automatically done. There's nothing anyone has to do. We just enter the information as it comes in. So, and I know, Heidi, Jen will be doing most of that, entering people into the entering contestants into the Brackify unit. Heidi, you're doing that for Cover Wars, correct?
Right. Is Jen going to break them up so that they're more, at least in the beginning, so that they're more balanced?
He is talking about doing that. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Because last year it was kind of ironic, but my Vampire Slayer ended up going against the vampire. I don't know if that was on purpose or what happened, but she apparently lost, which made me really sad. So
no, that's interesting.
I filled out the stuff for the character war thing, but I don't even remember an area to upload a picture.
They didn't have it last year, and that's why I recommended that we do it this year.
Yeah. And it was just Joe organized it. I got an email from him, and he said, if you have a picture of Berrigan to send over, go ahead and send it. So I sent him a picture of, just a random picture I pulled offline that I found that kind of resembled Berrigan. It can be a celebrity. It can be, just a little something. Someone from your book cover, perhaps, and send it on. And that went hand in hand. I know Schneider, she had Ian, and Ian went all the way, almost, I think, to the top, or he was the winner of last year's tournament. And Ian, she used the cover, her book cover showed Ian. So that's what she used for her character. So that's something else. But again, when I was looking through it, to me, it just screamed there was a lot of fantasy characters. But when I looked at all the other, there were a few in there that just, there was a romance character in there. And I'm like, it was,
and they
to
almost
me,
all got knocked out because it didn't, I mean, they weren't comparable to each other.
Yeah, to me, it felt like we were comparing Aragorn from Lord of the Rings to, to Edward Cullen. So that's something I'd like to avoid this year when we set up character wars. Make sure it is strictly fantasy warriors or fantasy heroes, and young adult in one section, and make sure all the character wars, character tournaments get placed appropriately, so no one's being pitted against something that's inappropriate. We don't want Christian Grey going against Aragorn. That's just.
We might.
I don't know. That might be kind of entertaining. Kristen doesn't stand a chance. I'm just saying.
Great. So that's something to consider. Trying to think, is there anything else we have planned? There was something. I remember wanting to tell everybody. Oh yes, I remember now. I was talking to Angela Dukes. She has a lot of really awesome ideas, and I'm just like, I told her from now on she needs to really go out of her way and make a point of posting her ideas in the Facebook group because they're just astounding. One of the things she took to her sister, they're both readers, they're not writers, and they were discussing what is so great about SciCon. Why would authors go to SciCon that they wouldn't get anywhere else? Why SciCon? And I gave her a couple explanations. Well, there's giveaways, there's prizes. And she's like, yeah, but as a reader, I can get a lot of that anywhere. Why SciCon? What is so unique about SciCon? And it was interesting. I had a lot to think about. And she came back and proposed exclusive content, whether it be stories or books, only available during the SciCon, only available for these 3 days. Now, I'm not one to jump on the concept immediately of having one of my books published only for 3 days during the SciCon. But if I were to do a short story or maybe an anthology, and this is where I've discussed the Brain to Books anthology, maybe having that only available for these 3 days. But that's going to require the authors pool in their efforts to say, yeah, this is what I've written. It's just for the SciCon. It is only available for the SciCon. And we can bring it back year after year, 1 year to the next. So, and of course, after a few years, we'll have an accumulation of exclusive content. But it's something I'm wanting every author to think about. What are they bringing this one particular time that's not going to be available any other time?
It might be a good addition for grab bags, something like that.
Yeah, very much. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Another thing that would be fun that I adore is the chain stories. I love chain stories. Yeah. And I had one going in a group. It's published on my website. It is that outrageous. It's awesome. I think it ended with a steampunk Zeppelin showing up in the middle of the Aztec ruins. Oh yeah, it was awesome. And it was all over paintball. We were just playing paintball. It was so fun. But if we were to get something, I mean, we're all writers. So it's not just a little game that we would play as kids. We're writers. We know how to do this. So if we were to get something started and keep a game going or something like that during the SciCon, it can get outrageous. It would get absolutely outrageous. So I don't know if that's something that, I mean, I would absolutely have that up in a forum group somewhere where we're just tagging on to the story after story. So that's a possibility. We pulled it off on Goodreads. We had one story going in Goodreads and it just kept going. Like I said, it's all published on my site because it got outrageous. But that's a possibility. As far as, of course, if we keep it within a fantasy group, that's something that would, we could again get really crazy with it. We turned the room we were doing this all in into a, what's it called? We were doing it in a holodeck from Star Trek, which gave us all the ability to manipulate our environment. And if you called out to the computer and changed the scene, you could change it to anything you wanted. So that really, we started off in a garage playing paintball and we ended in the Aztecan ruins. It got crazy. It got crazy. So that's something we can consider doing as far as a forum post goes, another fantasy event. I'm trying to think, is there anything else that we could do for fantasy? Any ideas? Right.
I think that the character attorneys that we do are pretty unique.
Yeah.
I mean, that was one of the things that, as a reader from me last year, was really interesting, was to see the characters pitted against each other like that.
Oh, yeah.
I think we do have a lot of unique things that appeal to different audiences.
What if we do a live tournament? Josh, you have a fantasy character?
I do.
Give me her name.
Drast is who I have in the convention.
And what does Drast do? Is it a magician? Is he a magician or is he a swordsman?
A magician. He's a magic user, but he's also an archer.
An archer. Okay. Well, I have Bergen. Bergen is a cocky jerk who is a swordsman, and his sword was stolen from the Fey Queen, or a Fey goddess. What if we were to pit Bergen and Drast against each other live, so that we are on Facebook, and one of us initiates, we flip a coin, let's say Drast goes first. Drast, kind of like a D&D style, where Drast attacks Bergen, we roll a dice, well, we don't roll a dice, we let readers vote. Drast makes his move, Bergen makes his, and readers vote on the spot which move is best. So we have to write out each other. It's a write out.
Yeah, I've seen this done before on forums. Really do write outs like that. My question is how you have this work when you are essentially functioning in two different worlds. So, for instance, in my world, Drast uses magic, and so he's able to shift between time and space. And so he can essentially, I'm trying to think of a good example of it. He can move things, with magic. He can move you. He can move the land. He can move himself. He can throw an arrow and make it go faster or slower or change direction in mid, wherever.
Okay, so I'm reading
your book. Every time he uses magic, he loses life. Every time he uses magic, he ages and gets older.
Yeah, and I can also see Drast going against Dean. Like, I can seriously see the three of them in a tournament. Love anime. We're all fantasy lovers here. Or Heidi, hi. I love anime.
What are you talking about? I live for anime.
Oh, good girl. Good girl. There's this one anime, One Piece, and they have a tournament where they throw all the contestants into one booth. And maybe this is probably too much, but it's just, I'm brainstorming here. They threw everyone into a tournament. There was a stadium. We can use the Coliseum, for instance, to answer your question, Josh, about the environment. And yeah, I like the Coliseum. Let's do the Coliseum, gladiators. And they threw everybody in, and the last one standing wins. Wins the round. That is literally it. So you had like 50 magic users, 50 just talented, skilled fighters all in one group, and they just, every man for himself. And that's something else we can consider, throwing everybody. And again, I think that's going to get too complicated with a group of us. But if we did just have it so that, let's say Drast and Bergen go up against each other in one tournament, and maybe there's 3 moves total or 5 moves total. And when it's all done and said, then the readers can, there can be a poll very easily, and they can vote. Another one is, instead of them actually engaging in battle, they can do a magic display or a skill display next to each other. So instead of us actually posting a single paragraph in character tournaments, we are physically showing them, this is what my character can do right in front of you. So it's live instead of the posted. That way it's going to be an assigned time period. It'll be within a certain chunk of time, so people can.
It would also be interesting if you could just pull something out of your book as an excerpt of them showing what they can do, and then having those go hand in hand, and then them decide who's the more powerful character or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. That is something we can definitely do. That'll work. So
we could do that as the theme for our Facebook, because we're still doing the Facebook takeovers, right?
Yes, we are doing the Facebook takeovers.
Fantasy could say, hey, for our Facebook takeovers, we're going to focus on doing these character tourneys, and whoever comes in and votes.
Yeah, no, that'll work very well. Yeah, we can do that. We can very much do that. Yeah, I like this. So that's something we can do with fantasy. Yeah. Like I'm thinking a boxing ring or something like that, wrestling match, announce it in the likeness of.
I think the big piece for fantasy, which I don't know if this is on the agenda, but it's figuring out who's going to be in charge of different areas for the actual convention.
Yeah, I saw you asking about that in the group. The genre, well, we do have bloggers lined up for that. And the bloggers who have volunteered, I would like your opinion, all of your opinion on this one. Should the bloggers that are coming in all have done blog tours? Should the bloggers be organized under one manager? Should the genre manager be conversing and just, this information is through for the blog tours? Or should we leave the bloggers alone to organize their own blog tour among themselves?
You need supervision.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, that's just been my experience.
You're fine.
With setting up my own blog tours.
Mm-hmm.
I still have to go back and check every day to make sure that the people put the stuff up, and half the time they don't, even though they volunteered.
Okay.
Yeah, you need somebody on top of it and reminding people and making sure everything's ready.
And
I have 3 genre managers here at the moment. How do you feel about doing this yourself? Is that more than you can do to your schedule?
Well, I'm fine with it because the horror genre is kind of smaller than like fantasy. You might need a couple of assistants in the fantasy for that, but because I noticed you've got a lot of bloggers in your fantasy already, and so but I think I'm fine with doing the horror genre.
I haven't seen the full list of who we have doing these things yet.
Let me take a look here. I'll get that to you. Let me just. Okay. And I think they're already in our group. When we went through, and I took all the volunteers. I did not look to see who volunteered for what. I just saw the genre they volunteered for.
But that's not a huge number though. It was like 20 people maybe, if that.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that is all of your volunteers for all of fantasy. Some of them volunteered for blogging. Some of them volunteered for recruiting. Some volunteered for, genre tours.
But we'll see some of those numbers increase as we get closer to the date and people sign up for stuff.
Yeah. And I haven't touched into my Brain to Books bloggers yet. I have about 200 authors there who just blog. And I can probably touch base with them very easily and say, and I can do this very easily. And I can see when it's regarding the SciCon, I see a large, like probably 20 bloggers right off the bat. Even if they're not involved in that genre, they'll cross genres. So we should see a turnout once I tap into that source. So.
I don't know. I know for me, when I first started a couple of years ago and you ran the blog tours and you had the templates that you send out to everybody, that was so super easy.
Okay, so templates. We're doing the templates. Okay.
I don't know how everybody else feels about that, but I liked having a template of here's the author, here's their stuff. All I did was copy and paste and schedule, and I went on to the next one.
Yeah. Are you talking about the HTML code style guides or the author packet that they filled out?
Probably the author packets.
Okay. All right. At one point last year, I had the style guide where I developed the entire, this is what it's supposed to look like. Build your own post and send it to me. And if you don't know how to do HTML code, let me know. If you know what HTML code is, this is what I want. Oh, wow. It went from being, Ani knows this, it went from being a 1-hour job of building a post to 2 seconds. Just copy, cut, paste, done. Mm-hmm. So we'll do that again.
Yeah, because I did like six posts on one tour. I just used my standard about the author, about the book, where to buy the book, where to find the author. Yeah,
and while we're on that topic, I do want to address it. The about the authors, I really want to keep that on the low profile this year. The more information there is about the author, the less information there is about the characters in the book, and the less likely they are to buy. I don't want to see like Twitter, Facebook, Google+, website, join my Facebook, join my Twitter account. That reduces their chances of them hitting that buy the book button. So every chance possible, I want to get the book in their face. I want to get the buy button in their face. I don't want to see like 3 paragraphs of about the author. I'm looking at literally 2 sentences of an author bio in third person. No more. I don't even want to do author picks this year.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay, I'm on. Will it be like the Goodreads booths last year with the background and the foreground and the?
Yes.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out there with the background, the foreground. We are pretty much going to be repeating that regarding the Goodreads. That's actually almost built. Jin's been working on putting that together and getting it assembled.
And you had templates for that also.
Yes.
Okay, I kept all that. All right.
Yep,
Oh.
wonderful. Yep, and I think your post is still there. We've deleted nothing.
I saved it.
Yep.
Okay.
So you can go right in. What we're doing this year is every Goodreads author page, every Goodreads profile within the showcase is going to be Brain to Books Presents, and then it's going to be the author's Goodreads link right there, so you can go and view the author on your own. And then every author is going to be given their link. They can go in and comment or dress it up however they like under their profile, which is now sorted by genre. So you can go in, find fantasy, and there's all the fantasy authors. And you can open up each and every one of them, and every author has their own thread. Everyone begins with a professional Brain to Books logo, Brain to Books display banner, and then under that, the author can add whatever they want. And that's where you can copy, cut, paste what you did in 2000.
You had paranormal, right? You have a separate paranormal genre?
Paranormal is going to be considered a subgenre this year because we have so little of it right now. So it's paranormal fantasy, paranormal horror, paranormal romance. It depends on what you've written. And if you need
suspense.
I'm sorry.
Paranormal suspense.
Suspense. Yeah, I think you would be under the thriller section, paranormal thriller.
Okay.
We're combining suspense, mystery, thriller, and crime because the genres are so small that we can't generate the traffic. So.
Okay, but it's not fantasy. Definitely not.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't have dragons or fairies or anything.
Oh, yeah. No, it would probably be best to look under thriller for what you're looking for. I think we're all set. Is there any other?
What about the one-day event you have, December 17th?
Oh, that. Yes.
Yeah, I have a half hour. What do I present?
Yep. We have 3 events happening. December 16th is we're doing every December we do a mass holiday giveaway. This year we are turning that into a SciCon sampler as well. We have an event happening on the 16th, 2 events happening on the 18th, and then the Brain to Books event happening on the 17th. Right. It's a 30-minute takeover. It's absolutely free and open. You can go in, post for those 30 minutes, whatever you'd like. We recommend introducing your books, introducing your characters, providing maybe some samples or book trailers of your writing, and of course, buy links. I did this one takeover where I had everything except the buy links. Yeah, make sure you post the buy links.
No, Angela.
It was a bad day. I'm just like, people started asking, where can I get this? Well, it's on. Oh man. So yeah, I was scrambling. In addition,
and games also.
Yeah, absolutely. Games, prizes, giveaways.
A Facebook takeover before?
I'm sorry.
Me? Did I have it? Yeah, I do them. Yeah.
Okay,
so ones. I join
like
the free ones. Right. So I have set games that I like to do, and I give away
absolutely.
Those are great. Yeah. Absolutely. Or polls, any of that.
And I get reviews a lot of times from them also.
Very good.
They're handy.
Yeah. We are doing, and we have, I think the slots are almost filled up. However, we have open slots available. So if somebody missed sign up, they can still jump in during those hours and post. So everyone will have a chance to jump in, and there's open posting twice during that time. As far as the giveaway goes, I finally figured out what your posts are. Honey, oh my God. Thank you. Timestamps. I get it now. Regarding the giveaways on the Facebook takeover, I hate going through a forum post during a takeover, trying to find all of the giveaways. I was in a takeover a couple weeks ago where she had the forum, but then in a completely separate group, she had all the giveaways listed 1, 2, 3, right in order. She posted them, not the authors. So you could go through and very easily see each and every giveaway. So this year we're going to do the same thing. December 17th, you're going to have your 30 minutes of posting. Do not post your giveaways in your actual takeover. You can say, I have giveaways available. You can go here for my giveaway, and you can provide the link, but keep that condensed on that website. That way they can go through themselves and literally just go right through. And you can play the games that you normally play. You can say, hey, post your answers here, however you like. But that way we all keep the giveaways condensed in one place. It was just beautifully organized. So,
and people will be giving away books and Kindle copies.
Anything you want, yeah. Now there's that giveaway, and then there's the mass giveaway where you donate a book. We put you into the slot, and we have a mass drawing. Last year we had over 60 books going to one author. This year we're probably going to do a first, second, and third place because I'm expecting almost 120 books this year, divided 3 ways, in addition to a $100 gift card. So it is a nice boon. And that's already built up. That's already set. Once I have the gift cards and everything going through, we're open. Like, we can start doing this right now, where we can start pushing through. And of course, I'm reaching out to all Brain to Books members. If you want in on that $100 gift card for the sign up, we are asking for like a $5, $10 donation. And of course, the more you donate, the larger the boon. If we get enough in, I'm wanting to grab a Kindle Fire for the winner, etc. Like it's going to be a big deal. So right off, we have a $100 gift card going into the boon, including whatever books are donated. So in addition to that mass holiday giveaway on December 17th, we are also doing whatever little giveaways or swag packs you want to do on the side for your 30-minute takeover. So, and I believe Corinna is putting together a how-to Facebook, or I am, if she's not, because I don't know if I just volunteered for something.
She said something in the group about she was doing a video tutorial.
Yes, she is for SciCon. I think I volunteered me. December 3rd, I'm doing a Facebook video how-to.
Okay.
To answer all the questions that people might have about it. So, and we are not, as authors, we are not telling people Facebook, paperback, ebook, audio. We are just saying these are the titles, and we're providing the book cover. Authors get to choose. Authors 100% get to choose. If we come back and say the winner is in UK, you decide if you want to ship a paperback or send an ebook. If the winner is in California, you decide what format. The winners will not be informed one way or the other of format. That way, if the author says, yeah, I'm going to be sending out 10 paperbacks and it's Christmas season, and they go, oh, I can't afford sending out paperbacks, I changed my mind. Don't worry about that. So if you want to make a donation, and it will go into the pool. We'll keep track of all the money that comes in, all the giveaways and the book titles. And then we'll figure out how to divide it 3 ways depending upon what we get. And like last year, the honeypot will grow long after we keep this going. So people can enter their names during the 17th, and we will keep donations going. So there is no cutoff until we're probably going to close it down 2 hours before we actually draw a name.
Do you ever get blocked by Facebook?
I did once. I learned my lesson.
Typing too fast?
Yes, I had everything.
It happened to me twice.
Yeah, I had everything pre-posted, ready to go, and I thought I would just be fast and copy, cut, paste. I got 12 out before they said no. So I'm very.
Yeah, I was answering too quickly. I was playing games, and if you answer too quickly, they cut me off.
Yep. So that's.
I had to find one of the. I found one of the people that joined. She had postings for me.
Yep. Yeah. We are absolutely going forward with that. I'm echoing somewhere. We're going through. We are one of the things we're going to be covering on December 3rd when I go over the Facebook help video. I think we're all set. Does anyone have any questions? Are we all set? Ani, what's our time at?
5 minutes over.
Oh, crap. Okay. But it's
we covered extra stuff. It's okay.
Yeah, that's all right. So, and we'll
At least they didn't say 5 hours over.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. So, and just for clarity, the $100 gift card we're doing for the 17th is in addition to another $100 gift card I'm doing on the 16th. So if you see multiple giveaways happening with these $100 gift cards, that's not an illusion. You might be confused, but you know, I have 4 events happening that weekend, and I'm tying them all into one thing so that all the events will get quadrupled traffic. So Ani's book release is one of those. So
woohoo, go Ani.
So, and I'm hoping to, like, we're using the SciCon in her case to drive traffic to her event on the 17th. There's more prizes to be won on the 18th. Please make sure you join us for the 18th. In addition, I'll be saying we had an event yesterday. The giveaways and everything is still open on the 16th. Please take a look there, enter those giveaways as well. So we are definitely looking to cross promote all 4 events. So.
For the SciCon sampler, have you gotten people to sign up to do the mini character tournaments and the?
I have gotten nothing yet, but it's probably because I have submitted nothing yet for forms. I should probably get on that. Yeah, I should probably get on that as far as character tournaments go. I know I have a couple planned for the 16th among the group that we have for the 16th. And I'd like to keep it basically those who are doing the takeover. I'm going to reach out to them and say, okay, if you want your book submitted in a brief cover war, if you want your characters submitted in a very brief character war, let us know. And we're probably going to be only looking like 6 entrants total, maybe 10. And it's meant to keep it small, to give people a taste of what the SciCon sampler is supposed to feel and look like. So I think we're all set. I like the words all set. I keep saying that, but there's always more. So we do have a meeting next Thursday. We always have them on Thursdays, with the exception of one Saturday a month. Next Thursday, we are here at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So next Thursday is our evening meeting. And then we have a Saturday meeting on the 26th of November. That'll be our evening or our weekend meeting. So, and of course, anytime anyone wants to go. And I think next weekend is our open meeting, or I'm sorry, next Thursday is 7 p.m. open meeting. So anyone who's been missing meetings and wants to just ask anything, we'll be here on 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time again. So one last time. I think we're all set. So I'm going to stop recording now.